It's time for Pascal's equation. I want to just do the pressure equation first to make sure that you have an understanding of how to utilize it in order to actually calculate the different forces that you're applying with your force multipliers. I am going to be going over a few of these practice problems to make sure you know what you're doing. So if you please take this out, this is going to help you complete these. And the furry one today. Say hi. Yeah. Hi. He's used to someone else being on the other end. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Can you see it? Yes, I can. Yes. Get this out of here. Pressure practice problems. You have to know quite a few things in order to do this well. You need to make sure that you have read through this entire thing. And if you notice, we do have a formula here. It is pressure is equal to the force times the area. There are a bunch of different ways for you to go about using this. But the easiest way is to say P is equal to F over A. The metric unit for force. So your units are going to be in newtons, which is represented by N, or in pounds. Please remember pounds is represented by me, LB. Area is going to be represented by square meter, which is meters squared, or square inch, or square foot. So please be careful. Sometimes it won't actually say it. It won't represent it like this. It will say square foot. It's implied that you know those things. Okay, so when you solve for the pressure, we have the equation right here. It's very important that when you are solving these problems, you are labeling things and hanging on to your units. Your units act just like your variables in your algebra class. You can't just lose them. They don't go away. So we have 120 pounds. When we come back up here, pound is actually a unit of force. I want to label that as force. If you're color coding, then pick a color for force and keep it consistent throughout. The bottom of the box has 12-inch squared, so that's the area. What's the pressure? If you're going to calculate pressure, I would like you to write down the equation. It is force over area. You notice when you do this, you can see how easy it is to just pop things right into the equation. Substituting this in, we want to have 120 pounds. Again, please make sure you hang on to your unit. It's going to be over 12 inches squared. 120 divided by 12 is equal to 10. Please notice though, this right here is very important. If this said x over y squared, like it does in your algebra class, you would write x over y squared. You have to do the exact same thing. You have pounds over inches squared, and that is the unit. So when you say pounds over inches squared, you are speaking correctly and you are talking about a pressure. Very quickly, I want to go on to this next one because it asks you to do something a little bit different. You still are looking for your pressure, but you'll notice you have some different units, and there's something weird going on here, so I want to go through that. Bronze statue weighs 2,400 newtons. When you come back up here, you see that newton is a unit for force, so we're going to call this force. It has a base that is 4 meters by half a meter. When you are in math class and you hear by, that means multiply, okay? When you take 4 times 1/2, you're actually taking half of 4. That is equal to 2, all right? When you have a meter times a meter, it's just like what you would do in your math class. You would actually have x times x, which is x squared. All right, so you end up with meters squared. If you have meters squared, you notice that is the unit for area. So this is your area, okay? Now, we are asked to solve for the pressure. So again, we're going to come back here and we're going to say pressure is equal to force divided by area. That is equal to 2,400, newtons divided by, and again I'm hanging on to my unit because that's important. I'm going to use 2 meters squared. 2 meters squared. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Add my 2 zeros there to make sure it's the right magnitude. Please notice again, I have this right here, newtons per meter squared. You've gone back and you've read carefully. The answer, I think, to number 2 on your review questions was, what is the SI unit for pressure? It's actually called pascals, and that is equal to a Newton per meter squared. So they're the same thing, okay? So that's like 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. They're the same thing. So you could say 1200 Newton per meter squared, or you could also say it's equal to 1200 pascals, okay? Please notice on this one, again, it's doing the by thing, so be careful when you finish that calculation. All right, we're going to move on to our force calculations next. You going to calculate? I don't think so. He's not very good at math.